Good morning, cadets. Today we shall start the experiment number 2, where the aim of the experiment is to find the resistance of a given wire using meter bridge and hence determine the specific resistance or resistivity of its material. Let us see the apparatus required for the experiment. The materials required are a meter bridge, also known as the slide wire bridge, a battery eliminator or a power source, a galvanometer which detects the minimum current flowing through, a resistance box which will provide the fixed resistance for a particular observation, a jockey which we can slide so that it can help us to find out the correct null point, a one-way key which we replace by a switch, a resistance wire, unknown resistance, that is an unknown resistance, a screw gauge for measuring the dimensions of the wire, a meter scale for measuring the length, again for measuring the resistivity of the wire, and connecting wires for doing the necessary connections. Okay, let us see the theory involved. The meter bridge apparatus is also known as the slide wire bridge. It is fixed on the wooden block and consists of a long wire with a uniform cross-sectional area. It has two gaps formed using thick metal strips to make the Wheatstone bridge. As we know, the apparatus works on the principle of balanced Wheatstone bridge. Then, according to Wheatstone bridge principle, that is under balanced condition, we know that P by Q is equal to X by R. P by Q is equal to R by X, and then we formulate the expression X by R is equal to L by 100 minus L. We have done the necessary theory in the theory class. Now the unknown resistance can be calculated as X is equal to R L by 100 minus L, and the specific resistance of the material can be calculated by the formula rho is equal to, we know that rho is equal to A by L into X, where X is the unknown resistance. Since the wire which we are using has a circular cross section, so we can use rho is equal to pi r square by L into X, where L is the length of the wire and R is the radius. Now let us see the circuit diagram. See here, as we have discussed the circuit diagram, we have the meter bridge. Why is the meter bridge known so? As because the length of the meter bridge is 1 meter long and it accompanies a 1 meter scale also. Further, it has steel strips which are shown by yellow, which are having sufficiently thick area such that the resistance is negligible. Further, in the two gaps, we have on the right gap we have the unknown resistance, and on the left gap we connect the resistance box with a fixed resistance for a particular observation. Then from point B, that is in the middle of the central strap, we connect a galvanometer, and which is on the other end connected to a movable jockey which can be slided on the wire to provide the null deflection when the galvanometer gives zero deflection. Further, the power is provided from the battery, which is shown by E, and there is a switch which is shown by K. Let us move on. The procedure of the experiment is very simple. At first, the switch is connected, that is switched on, and then we find that the switch is connected as per the requirement in the given circuit diagram. Okay, we have connected one resistance box and an unknown resistance. Okay, at first one of the keys of the resistance box is taken out. So that is the resistance. If we take out 1 ohm or 2 ohm, whichever, that is the resistance, that is the fixed resistance in one of the parts. The unknown resistance can be found out now. Then what to be done? Then the next steps are mentioned as below. You can have a look. We'll show you in the demo how to proceed in the experiment. Just let us move to the next part. Observations. For the observations, we require a minimum of 5 readings. Okay, we can do it by plucking different resistances from the resistance box. Now, when we get the null point, we measure lengths L1 or L and 100 minus L specifically for that particular observation, and we put it in the necessary box, and then also calculate the unknown resistance X by the formula R into 100 minus L by L. So this completes one observation. Next, we use a different value of R by plucking a different point of the resistance box, and then follow the same steps one by one. We'll show it in the demo. Next, we require the dimensions of the screw gauge to find out the resistivity. Now, let us go back once again. Since we get the unknown resistance in 5 different instances, the net unknown resistance will be a mean of the calculations, the mean of the values of the unknown resistances which we have got in the 5 observations. That is, the arithmetic mean will give the unknown resistance. Now, to find out the resistivity, we use a screw gauge. The pitch, as we know, can be calculated from there. I'll show you. So the pitch is normally 1 mm. Then the least count we know it is 0.1 mm. Okay, the zero error will calculate, and the zero error calculation will be observed reading minus zero error with sign. Okay, let us move on to the further calculations which we require. When we measure from the screw gauge, we find the diameter. We initially find the diameter from the screw gauge and then convert it to radius as R is equal to d by 2. Initial observation is done in millimeter, and then we convert it into meter. Length of the wire is taken from the meter scale, using the meter scale. Then we record the mean of the resistance as X is equal to dash ohm, and then we apply it in the formula of resistivity and calculate the value of resistivity by the formula pi r square by L into X, and the resistivity, the unit is ohm meter. From this we come to the result. The unknown resistance of the given resistance is this many ohm. The specific resistance or resistivity of the given resistance wire is rho is equal to this many ohm meter. Some precautions are required which need to be taken during the experiment. Let us see them. The connection should be neat, tight and clean. The plugs should be tightly connected in the resistance box. The movement of the jockey should be gentle and it should not be rubbed. Rubbing may cause some temperature elevation which might affect the reading. The key K should be inserted only when the observations are to be taken. Normally in these experiments dry cells or primary cells are used. So if we keep the switch intact, it might drain the battery. So we must take out the key after the experiment. There shouldn't be any loops in the wire. Can you tell why? The loops in the wire may cause some inductive effect. As we have completed the chapter, we know that inductive effect causes an induced EMF to get produced in the wire, which might affect the readings of the experiment. Further, the diameter of the wire should be measured in two perpendicular directions, that is to avoid any improper constructions in the wire. We take it for granted, or normally we take it for granted that the material is properly made, but this should be taken care as in order to have a perfect experiment. Then let us see at few sources of errors. Number one, the screw of the instrument might be loose, especially the resistance box, which causes a lot of problems in these experiments. Next, the wire might be of non-uniform diameter. That is to be taken care. We need to measure the diameter at 2-3 different places so that we can take a mean of it. There might be a backlash error in the screw gauge, so we must be very careful while using the screw gauge. That's all about the experiment. Now we shall take you to the short demo, which is very simple. Just before starting up the experiment, you should be very clear and should study the Wheatstone bridge principle, which is the heart and soul of the experiment. Let us come for the short demo. Let us start the demo of the experiment. We must remember the aim of the experiment is to obtain the unknown resistance of the wire, and also find out its specific resistance or resistivity using the meter gauge. So before we start the experiment, we must tell you people that we have used a battery eliminator in place of the power source. In the place of battery eliminator, a primary cell or a dry cell can be also used, but we have used the battery eliminator. Further, we have used a rheostat or a variable resistance also to see that the readings do not go out of range. Further, one more precaution we have taken, that is the ammeter, which was not given in the original circuit diagram, but we have used the ammeter in order to see that a constant current flows through the circuit. Okay, let us come for the presentation. Okay, we see here we have made the connections as we have told that we are using rheostat for maintaining the resistance of the circuit. We are using a battery eliminator for the power source, and we are also using a ammeter or a milliammeter so that we can see that a constant current flows through the circuit. Let us start the experiment. First of all, we'll switch off the power source. So we find here that as the battery is switched on, we can do the experiment, we can start the experiment. The next step to follow is we are to pluck one key of the resistance box. So suppose let us start with 1 ohm. If we are taking out the 1 ohm key, that means the fixed resistance through these two keys is 1 ohm. We must verify that all the other keys are pressed sufficiently so that there is no other gap in the resistance box. Now we see that the galvanometer will show some deflection when we use or when we slide the wire which is acting as a jockey. Okay, just to start the experiment, we'll see if it is working correct or not. We'll touch to the left hand side of the wire. We'll start to the left hand side of the wire. As we touch the left hand side of the wire, it shows a left side deflection. Now we'll again see if we touch the right side of the wire. Let us see the deflection when we touch the right side of the wire. It shows a right side deflection. That means our apparatus is correctly placed and we can record the observation. Just please cadets, now you can record the observation, the null point. Now as we get the null point, we will measure it from the left side. As the resistance box is connected in the left gap, we will record the reading of the null point from the left side of the meter scale. There are two sides, there are two different scales. So if we are to measure the length from the left side, we will record the reading on the upper side of the scale. And in this particular experiment, if the resistance box is connected to the right gap and the unknown resistance is taken to the left gap, in that particular case, the balancing length will be measured from the right side or the lower half of the meter scale. So since we are having the resistance box on the left side, we will record the reading from the left side. Okay, let us start. We'll find that we'll touch and leave. We'll see as long as the galvanometer does not give zero deflection on keeping it in contact, we shall keep on trying. Here we find that we are very close to getting the zero deflection. We are very close to getting the zero deflection. Yes, we have got the zero deflection. You can check zero deflection. Now we'll measure the length. The length which gives zero deflection is 93.5 centimeter. 93.5 centimeter. I hope you have recorded 93.5 centimeter for 1 ohm. Okay, this is the first observation. L is equal to 93.5. Obviously 100 minus L is equal to 6.5. Okay, let us go for the 2 ohm now. We'll again switch off, put the 1 ohm key intact, take out the 2 ohm key outside. Okay, now we'll get the second, now we'll take out the second observation. Let us switch on the power key. Okay, as we have switched on the power key, we'll take the observation again. Okay, see on this side we are having a left hand side deflection, on the right extreme we are having a right hand side deflection. So let us again find out. Let us start from 90 so that we'll come near See, we are sliding it, we are sliding it, we are sliding it, we have got 0. We have got 0 at 96.5. We have got 0 at 96.5 centimeter. I hope it is clear. 96.5. Yes, we have got 96.5. Please record 96.5 at 2 ohm. Now that we have done 1 and 2, we can do it for 3 ohm. Switch off, we take out 3 ohm. Okay, 1 plus 2, that is 1 plus 2, that is 3 ohm. Okay, let us see. Let us see again. Start. We will power on the circuit and then start. Okay, let us see here. It is nearly 97. 97. Okay, you can take it. Let us see once again. It is nearly 97. You can take, it is nearly 97 centimeter. L is equal to 97 centimeter for 3 ohm, and 100 minus L is 3 centimeter. Okay, let us move to the next one. One more reading will take. One more reading. So let us take it at 5. Let us take it at 5 ohm resistance. Let us see. We power on and then again we'll slide. We'll slide the wire and we find that it is nearly 98. Is it? Is it nearly 98? Yes, it is 98. You can take the fourth reading to be 98 centimeter for 5 ohm. I hope it is clear. The next part of the experiment is to find out the dimensions of the wire. We'll now switch off the power of the power source and then we'll take out the wire and then do the necessary action as we have already discussed. We'll take out the wire. Yes, let us get the length first. Let us get the length of the unknown wire. It is nearly 29 centimeter. It is nearly 29 centimeter. You can record the length of the wire is 29 centimeter. Now to get the diameter of the readings, to get the diameter of the wire, we use a screw gauge. Again we can verify the zero error. To get the zero error, we find that it is nearly perfect. It is nearly perfect. I think 3 divisions. It is just mismatching 3 divisions. 3 divisions of the circular scale and the 0 is above. So what is the zero error? It is negative zero error. Negative zero error. So it is 3 into least count. So 3 into 0.01. 3 into 0.01, that is 0.03 minus 0.03 centimeter. Okay, you record the observation. Now we'll get the diameter. Now we'll get the diameter measured reading. Okay, we are taking the diameter. Let us put the wire perfectly at the center. Okay, we have put it. Now we find that this is the reference line. I hope it can be seen clearly, and the mark which coincides is 25. 25th mark of the circular scale coincides with the reference line. So the measured reading vernier scale division is 25. So what is vernier scale reading? It is 25 into least count. So 25 into 0.01, that is 0.025 centimeter. So what is the net reading? We can verify this particular case at 2-3 different places. We'll check if the wire is having different varying cross section. We find that again it is 25 at a different place. Let us check it at a third place, at a different place. Here also we are getting 25. So we can take the mean vernier division is 25. So the vernier scale reading is 25 into least count, that is 25 into 0.01, that is 0.025 centimeter. So the corrected reading will be measured reading minus zero error with sign. So it is 0.025 minus 0.03 minus 0.03. So it is equal to 0.025 plus 0.03. So it is 0.028 centimeter. Now that we have taken the readings of the unknown resistance, we will put them from the table and calculate the value of mean unknown resistance. We have taken 4 readings, so from 4 readings we can take the mean of the unknown resistance, and then we have taken the diameter, we have calculated it to be 0.028 centimeter. So we will convert that into meter and then put the values of diameter, length which we have got 29 centimeter. We will use the value of unknown resistance, length of the wire, and resistance of the radius of the wire to find out the resistivity also. That's all. We have recorded the observation, we have discussed the result. Now if you have not calculated or not recorded the observation, we will provide the necessary data and the copy of the presentation in the class via MS Teams and also by means of Google Classroom. Thank you for